Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? It's Amanda. Today is Saturday, the 16th of August. These are momentous hours and days in our world. And our job as Lightworkers is to put politics aside on the big issue of peace. And what I mean by putting politics aside is that I am noting in wider circles, not necessarily on my channel, but on other YouTube channels, for example, some people are almost rubbing their hands in glee at the prospect of Trump failing to broker a deal between Putin and Zelensky because they hate him that much. I neither hate or love him, to be perfectly honest, and I've said that many times. But what I am all about is getting behind any potential opportunity for peace and wishing all three well. If you're truly on a Lightworker path, that is what you're being called to do right now. So I'm going to pull some cards on it. And I've also got a few things I want to talk about as well, linked to this. The first is just to remind you that the path to peace is seldom smooth. The path to peace is full of big boulders that will try to derail it at every possible avenue. I'm reminded of the Northern Ireland peace process all those decades ago, where sworn enemies had to put down their sword and sit with each other. Let bygones be bygones to an extent, or to the degree that they were actually able to sit in the same room with each other. Probably actively still disliked each other, may still do, I've no idea. But the pursuit of peace was worth all of that. That's the point. So try to maybe steer clear of the people that are rubbing their hands in glee, hoping this fails. Also the people that they're not genuinely for peace, you know. They're too stuck and entrenched in their camps to be able to see that there is an opportunity here. And however it's forming and whatever it looks like and whoever is involved in it, peace is worth anything. That only you know whether your thoughts and intentions are pure or whether they are distorted or twisted by separation and hate. For any of the three, Zelensky, Putin, Trump. Ultimately, for peace to happen, they need to get round the table and agree something. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards, see what we get. I have pulled cards from this deck earlier today. They were actually quite positive and they were talking about new beginnings and new adventures. And it felt as though there really is a realistic prospect of peace. Now, of course, peace, just because it's achieved, doesn't necessarily mean that work isn't still involved to keep the peace. Lasting peace requires effort and motivation. Eight of Pentacles, as I said that, opportunities. There's an opportunity here to make it work. On the bottom of the pack, we've got the Six of Cups, which is the past, which is memories. We know what's happened. You might have one narrative, somebody else might have another narrative. But the past is the past. All we actually have is the present moment. So with those two there, let's pull some cards on these three players. Let's start off with Donald Trump. And I'd like to ask about his intentions here. Show me his genuine intentions with this peace process. I'm sure America will get something from it. That's all part of the deal. But I want to see what his genuine intentions are with this. Donald Trump. Show me his genuine intentions. We've got the energy of the Hermit and wisdom. Now, from memory, I think Trump is a 31-4. I might be wrong in that. If I am, I'm going to be really annoyed because I'll have to redo this video. But I think he's a 31-4 numerologically, which is linked into the energy of the Hermit, weirdly. And you might say, well, he's not a blinking hermit. He's out there the whole time. But on this matter, on this particular matter, on this thing, he wants this. He wants this. And he is trying to draw on his own inner wisdom and also aligning to wisdom that wants to come in. Spirit, higher guidance, wanting to work through him. It's a bit like that speech that RFK Jr. gave when he accepted a role in Trump's government, having been previously not particularly invested in his politics. But he said something along the lines of, I asked God for an opportunity to make a difference with regards to healthcare in the USA, and God sent me Donald Trump. So it's like, and so I'm now working for Donald Trump. It was that type of energy. Spirit will work through anybody, particularly when it is for the highest good. Okay, so we've got the Hermit and we've got the Sun. The sun, the light, is shining on his experience in being able to get people around a table. I keep hearing brokerage. He's a good broker. Knows, as I say, I'm just going to go for this video. I'm sick of having to defend myself the whole time. There are aspects of Trump where he can be very polite in business. I noticed as he was saying goodbye to Vladimir, it was just the way he said, thank you, Vladimir, or something like that. It was just very courteous. I thought it was very good the way he knew how to treat Putin. That's what I'm feeling. And I'm sure Putin knew how to treat him as well. But anyway, we're doing cards for Trump. One more, please. One more card for Donald Trump with regards to this peace process. We've got the King of Swords, which is the card of structure. That is Trump, the King of Swords, yeah. Trying to use his mind, trying to use his abilities to bring about something positive. Okay, let's see what's going on with the other two. I'm going to start with Zelensky. No, let's start with... No, I want to start with Zelensky. Okay, let's start with Zelensky. So the one who wasn't there yesterday, but is going to be arriving on Monday. Now, last time when they met, obviously it didn't go too well. But again, it takes a big man to be able to put bygones behind them and just get back on the horse, as it were. We've got the energy of the Fool. The card of new beginning. I said to you before I even pulled these cards, new beginnings. New beginnings are here. Absolutely. What that beginning looks like and whether it can hold out is a different matter. We've got the energy of the new beginning. What else for Zelensky? This also feels like him going back to America, going back. I think he's going to have a different demeanour. He's going to approach it in a different way. Zelensky, with regards to this peace, opportunity for peace. He's conflicted, yeah. This is the card of win at any cost. Does he want to put the conflict down? I need one more card for that. I mean, mind you, it came with the Fool. Now I'm going to have one more clarifying card, please, for the Five of Swords for Zelensky. Why have we got the Five of Swords for Zelensky? Queen of Wands, passion. Not sure. Why have we got the Queen of Wands with the Five of Swords? Why have we got the Queen of Wands with the Five of Swords? Strength. Another Queen of Swords poking out. Don't know, it's a very feminine, female cards. Is it something linked into mothers who've lost their sons fighting for Ukraine? Conflicted that he's going to be giving away territory that their sons have died for, something like that. But we have got the card of new beginnings and the Fool. Wants a fresh start, I feel. Okay, let's have a look at Vladimir Putin. Show me the energy of Putin with regards to these peace talks, please. Ace of Pentacles, luck is on his side. Again, another new start. Another roll of the dice. Another adventure. Another foray back into the world stage. Six of Swords, boundaries. But this is a card, interesting. Six of Swords traditionally shows movement away from something. So I don't think we're going to use the word retreat and Putin together, but there's something here whereby you've got death and rebirth on the bottom of the deck with the Six of Wands. Well, I mean, what I'm feeling really, I'm just trying to get my mind out of it, because what the cards I think are saying here, boundaries, death, luck and success we've also got. It feels as though he's been, in Putin's mind, been pushing and pushing and pushing to extend the boundary, but there's a death of that. There's a rebirth moment. There is a renegotiation over boundaries. And however it works, it feels as though he feels quite pleased with it. Let's pull one card in terms of how they, if there is a peace deal, how the two players feel after it has happened. That's assuming it is going to. Take all of this, obviously, with a pinch of salt, because things can change between now and Monday. Two of Pentacles has just flown out. As I said, things can happen between now and Monday. Yeah, it's just saying, yeah, there's choice. It could go one of two ways. But assuming a peace deal can be reached, show me how Zelensky feels. Show me how Zelensky feels. The High Priestess, and we've got that card poking out, which is the Moon. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. That is all hidden energy. Hidden energy, something you can't see. Okay. Show me the energy of Putin. Should a peace deal be achieved? Page of Cups, playfulness, with Page of Pentacles, new experience. I feel the one that wants it most is actually Putin, funnily enough. Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's Amanda. Today is the 18th of August. We are going to be talking about the pursuit for peace today for very obvious reasons. As light workers, our job is to get behind any opportunity that is in our world for the prospect of peace. Obviously, we've got the meeting with Zelensky and a number of European leaders in Washington with Donald Trump later today, UK time. And this follows on from the meeting between Trump and Putin at the end of last week. I did pull some cards on this over the weekend. I just chose not to post the video for a few reasons. Number one, I didn't quite understand the messages that were coming out of the cards, but I do now. And also it's changing so quickly hour by hour that I felt it might be more important to do a read today. I will tell you though that the cards on Saturday, I did two different reads. They were both quite positive actually with regards to, I think it was more just highlighting this is a genuine opportunity for peace. Now, whether peace is achieved or not is a different matter, but this is a genuine window where something quite miraculous could happen, or the timeline could just jog on the same old, more war, more fighting, more money, more bloodshed, etc. Not going to get into the politics of it today. My politics is the energy of peace. Also noting that I believe 1 million Israelis marched through Tel Aviv, maybe other parts of Israel, I'm not sure, yesterday, wanting an end to conflicts, or at least some degree of compromise with regards to hostage exchange and against the proposed expansion of the war in Gaza by Netanyahu. So it does feel as though this is a pivotal moment in our world, that, as I say, if we're light workers, can we just leave politics and sides to one side and just try and be on the side of peace today? It's really important. I'm actually going to pull a rune if I have time, because I think that'll give us very clear guidance. But I wanted to also mention a video that I watched over the weekend on Next Level Soul by a guru. I'm going to abbreviate his name, Guru Nath, interviewed by Alex Ferrari. And I wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to pull out. But with regards to peace, he talked about this. He talked about something called the 11th Commandment, linked into his particular path, his particular faith, his particular journey towards enlightenment. So the 11th Commandment isn't anything to do with Christianity, but it is this. And I'm quoting him now, Gurunath. The 11th Commandment: if earth peace is to herald the new dawn of the new age, we must all realise that humanity is our uniting religion, breath our uniting prayer, and consciousness our uniting God. I will repeat that because you actually have to be in the right frequency alignment to even be able to receive the wisdom of it. I really feel that. I had to myself reread it a few times until I got it. It's so deep, it's so accurate. If earth peace is to herald the new dawn of the new age, we must all realise that humanity is our uniting religion, breath our uniting prayer, and consciousness our uniting God. He also talked a little bit about when people misunderstand you, particularly if they're still maybe locked into separation and division and taking a side. And he said this, I mean, it's a wider context what he's saying, but he says, what I came to know is that I don't care if they believe me or not. I'm reveling in my own inner purity. If we can just focus on what is in our heart and our intention, our frequency, whether we can put to one side how we feel about Putin, how we feel about Zelensky, how we feel about Trump, and just in here know that peace can be possible in our lands, that is half the battle. I don't care if they believe me or not. What he means by that is maybe I have an agenda. Maybe, I'm saying something that you think I'm not saying, that really I'm siding with somebody. I'm reveling in my own inner purity. As I say, he was quoting that in a much wider context, but I'm putting it here into today's opportunity for peace. So there's that. Let's pull a rune at this point, and I'm going to refer to the book because, as you know, I'm not a rune expert. But today's meeting in Washington, the prospect of peace. Let's just see what we get. The Self, number 1. Let's see what it says. Page 93. I would imagine it's about ego. Is it? That's what it feels like it's to me. The starting point is the self. Its essence is water. Only clarity and willingness to change is effective now. A correct relationship to yourself is primary, for from it flow all possible right relationships with others and with the divine. Remain modest. Regardless of how great may be your merit, be yielding, devoted, and moderate, for then you have a true direction in life. Be in the world, but not of it, and yet do not be closed, narrow, or judging. Rather, remain receptive to impulses flowing from the divine, within and without. Strive to live the ordinary life in a non-ordinary way. It's a time for major growth and rectification. And as a rule, rectification must come before progress. The field is tilled before the seed is planted. The garden is weeded before the flower blooms. And the self must know stillness before it can discover its true song. Instead of seeking credit for accomplishments or focusing on results, be content to do your task for the task's sake. Herein lies the secret of experiencing a true present. I think this is very much saying that if all the players are able to come to the table, and it's a big ask, for the higher good, for the highest good, and the highest good in this case is the energy of peace, miracles can happen. If they can't come in that light, then we are in difficulties. The flower will not bloom. But there is also a message coming through with this, that whatever happens today, it is about tilling the field. It is about preparing for a day when the flower will bloom. So even if today's talks are not satisfactory or don't lead anywhere, actually any attempt at peace, any attempt at getting warring factions around the table is a step closer to one day putting down differences and living in peace with each other. This card is the card of generosity and charity. And it's interesting because this deck is the magical Nordic Tarot. And this is an extra major arcana card that doesn't appear in other decks. And the message is to do with kindness, compassion, and it's about what you give, you will receive. So, yeah, what you give is what you will receive. Charity is a card of compassion and self-care. Like a cat, well known for its independence, this card encourages you to rely on yourself rather than others for the love and the nurturing you seek. It's linked to the goddess Freya for some reason, and it depicts one of the most sacred animals in Nordic mythology, a blue cat, linked to her, who's thought to have travelled in a chariot pulled by cats. Felines were highly prized by ancient Nordic people who believe they had been given to Freya as a gift from Thor. Isn't Thor the god of war? I believe so. She loved them so much that they soon became her favourite companions, leading to them becoming a Nordic symbol of giving and kindness. Well, if I am correct in that Thor is the god of war, and he gave to the goddess the gift of the cat, which became something that was well loved. I feel that's a positive omen. We've also got the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, which is a card of achievement, accomplishment. Let's see. I'm going to have just a very quick read on all three players. One card for Trump, one card for Putin, one card for Zelensky. Oh yeah, the reading that I did over the weekend, I kept getting a prominent woman, which is what I didn't understand. And I believe it is Ursula von Leyen, or whatever she's called. Sorry, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. The European lady, commissioner, whatever she is. Big cheese, big honcho. She is leading the charge of other European leaders being there today as well. So her energy seems to be pivotal. Maybe I'll pull a card for her to start with, actually. One card for Ursula. One card for Ursula. What are her intentions, please, here? We've got the Ace of Cups, emotions, and we've got the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck also. Having to juggle, think again, view alternate perspectives. She's coming at it with a full cup for whatever reason, and very emotional. Okay, a cup for Donald Trump today, please, with regards to this particular pursuit for peace. Show me the energy of Donald Trump. He's working hard to bring a deal. And on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Six of Pentacles. He's actually trying to be fair to both parties, Ukraine and Russia, and their respective leaders, because the Six of Pentacles is a card of give and receive. He's working hard on the deal. He knows there's also a lot at stake, including money. You know, there's a lot of money in war, ultimately. So, yeah, that's basically what that is saying. Let's see the energy of Putin. I know Putin's not present today, but he is omnipresent. We've got the card of the Sun, and we've got the card of the Lovers, which is the card of choice. I was picking up over the weekend that Putin actually wants this more than Zelensky. That was Saturday's energy anyway. The Sun is about Putin being welcomed back into the fold a little bit more by Trump. And the card of the Lovers is the card of choice. It's a choice. The sun is shining on this deal, this choice. It's not just up to him, of course, what happens or whether it's accepted. Let's have a card for Vladimir Zelensky, please. And his energy as he comes into these peace talks. Zelensky. The Hermit. The card of wisdom. It's interesting, it almost looks a bit like him because he always dresses in black, doesn't he? Like that. Look at that. He's trying to go within and work out the best route through this. I would also like to think that he's being guided. He's being guided as to what to do. One more card for Zelensky. What goes with the Hermit energy? The Empress. Now that actually was on the bottom of the deck and I reshuffled it. So he's got the Empress energy. And I did say in Saturday's reading that you haven't seen that there was a strong energy of the mothers of Ukraine with him. The sacrifice that they have given their sons to die in a war. And of course, the same could be said for Russian mothers, of course, as well. But I was picking it up more with the Ukrainian energy. There's something about the mothers in Ukraine holding the card in some ways, or maybe it's his wife. I don't know. Okay. One card for today. Let's just say one card for today. The prospects for today. We've got the Page of Cups, playfulness. That came out over the weekend as well. Of course, it's not playful, it's deadly serious. But the Page of Cups is saying it's in its infancy here. There is an opportunity, there is a rainbow to get out of the Eight of Swords energy, which is trapped, stuck, war energy. So even if nothing happens today or, progress is not achieved, it is being achieved at some level. Wish them well. That's our job as light workers. Take great care. Thank you. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Hello everyone, it's Amanda. It's the 19th of August and we are going to continue to talk about the pursuit of peace. I can't think of a more important topic right now, to be perfectly honest. And it does strike me, this is just an observation, not a judgment, it's an observation, that we look at the news with regards to all of the huge rallies that take place across many cities for peace in our world. But I have seen hardly anything on social media over the last couple of days wishing the peace process well. I strongly feel it's because most can't put aside ego. And I really would like to thank those people on my channels here, Facebook and Instagram, vast majority of you who can. It's really, really brilliant and amazing. And what Metatron said to me today is that we need to get more familiar with the feeling of leaving our ego out of the equation. You can't ever get rid of your ego. It's always going to be there. It's always going to want validation. And it's also always going to want comfort of what it knows to be true and the side that it's on, etc. But put it this way, in a process of peace and an energy of potential negotiation, you can't bring ego to the table. I suspect that of not just the three leaders, Putin, Trump, Zelensky, but maybe also the European leaders that were there yesterday in Washington, there will, without doubt, be a person, or many of them, that trigger you, that maybe you don't like what they do, you don't like what they stand for. But yet, if we can see from a higher perspective that for whatever reason, these are the people that are in charge right now, and it is going to be the people in charge that actually either push us further towards war or towards peace. So leaving our ego at the door and just trying to wish them well is so important. Well done to everybody that could. I won't name, there's a couple of individuals that were there yesterday in Washington that, yeah, trigger me. But getting familiar with leaving your ego behind, I was able to see qualities in them yesterday that I liked. I was able to notice, I don't know, maybe a change in demeanour, etc. Or just, even if pushed, kicking and screaming to be there, there is the chink of light, which is a willingness to allow an opportunity for change to come in. And that's what we need, an opportunity for change to come in. The body language I thought was really interesting, actually, particularly between Zelensky and Trump. Much more cordial, much more friendly on the surface anyway. And that's important. So what else do I want to say about that? I think that's really what I've written down here on my little note. There is another Ascended Master. I mean, there are many Ascended Masters that want to help right now. But the one that I'm going to bring in today is Quan Yin. And I'm bringing her in because Quan Yin is known for many things, but the qualities of mercy and compassion are central to her energy. Mercy and compassion, Quan Yin. That word mercy feels as though it needs to be in the mix somehow. No matter what, whatever happens over to the next few hours, the next few days, the next few weeks, even if it all falls apart, getting warring factions into the same room is a step forward. As I said yesterday, it's sowing the seeds for something, whether it's now or later on. So I'm going to pull a card from the Quan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And I'm also going to just use the spray as well. Quan Yin comes in for me on this beautiful olive ray. And olive green, of course, is an energy that links into hope for the future. In fact, our hope spray is also the colour of this bottle. So let me just spray it, and then I'm going to pull some cards and we'll just see what messages want to come through today. Before I do that, though, some of you might not have seen the comment that I put yesterday evening on yesterday's video. Because if you remember, I had the Empress with Zelensky's energy. And I don't know if you saw the bit in the Oval Office where Zelensky gives Putin a letter from his wife to Melania. Two mothers communicating. And he made a joke and he said, it's not for you to read, it's for Melania. And of course it came after Melania had given a letter to Putin. And actually, I know she did that, but shall we just see what the letter actually said? Melania Trump, let me just see if I can quickly pull it up, Putin. And I thought that was really interesting. Let's just see if it comes up. Yeah, it does come up as an image, okay. Hold on, that's not a very good quality one. So this is from Melania to Putin. Dear President Putin, every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, whether born randomly into a nation's rustic countryside or a magnificent city centre. They dream of love, possibility and safety from danger. As parents, it is our duty to nurture the next generation's hope. As leaders, the responsibility to sustain our children extends beyond the comfort of a few. Undeniably, we must strive to paint a dignity-filled world for all, so that every soul may wake to peace. and so that the future itself is perfectly guarded. A simple yet profound concept, Mr. Putin, as I'm sure you agree, is that each generation's descendants begin their lives with a purity and innocence which stands above geography, government and ideology. Yet in today's world, some children are forced to carry a quiet laughter, untouched by the darkness around them, a silent defiance against the forces that can potentially claim their future. Mr. Putin, you can single-handedly restore their melodic laughter. In protecting the innocence of these children, you will do more than serve Russia alone. You serve humanity itself. Such a bold idea transcends all human division, and you, Mr. Putin, are fit to implement this vision with a stroke of the pen today. It is time. Yours sincerely, Melania Trump. That's a really beautiful letter. And I tell you what, I'm going cold because if you watch yesterday's video, I pulled a card for Putin, and it was the card of playfulness. I think it was the Page of Cups. And it's very linked into this letter, letter's energy. So I just wanted to mention that before we bring Quan Yin in, who obviously comes in with this feminine energy, because it just feels as though the women are working behind the scenes of these powerful men in our world to also try to broker a deal. And I don't think that should go unacknowledged. And I've said for many months that it is the women of the world that will change the world, not just in this instance, but with regards to many of the ills that we have in our society. And it's so easy to listen to a letter like that. And if you're not, for example, a Trump lover, it's like, oh yeah, well, she's saying that, but what about other children that are being affected by American politics? Yes, yes, yes. There is a time and a place to have those discussions. But remember, the energy of war and peace, it's so important because it seeds either hope or more despair in our world. And it is the central thing right now, which we need to be rallying behind in all quarters, of course. So it's not that your points aren't valid. It's just that right now we have to keep focus, and we have to, as I say, leave the ego behind. Metatron saying, get familiar with leaving the ego behind. Let the heart lead the way. And it feels as though these women are doing that. Obviously, what Zelensky's wife said to Melania has not been reported, and that's fine. It's okay for it to be private. Okay, let's pull a card from Quan Yin and also just use the spray. Join me in uniting for peace today, no matter what. Bringing the energy of Quan Yin in. Okay. And Quan Yin is often depicted sitting or standing or coming out of a lotus flower. And she's showing me that energy right now of being able to witness an unfolding beauty in our world rather than more horror. And the card is the Veil of Shadows. And it says, a lotus, interestingly, I was picking it up, a lotus blossoms from the deep, rich mud into which he plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud, made of water and earth, growth happens, and great beauty is revealed. Your soul lotus thrives in the depth of emotion and the aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. Number one, Quan Yin is reminding us of the lotus flower, because the lotus flower of peace or awakening or love or whatever else we want to call it can only flourish with the mud also. So there's this thing about it needing to rise from the depths of the shadows, the veil of the shadows, as it says, from war to peace, from hate to love, from separation to unity, from misunderstanding to communication and listening, etc. So there's that. And also this thing about your soul lotus thrives in the depth of your emotion and the aliveness of your body. It's what I said yesterday, which is that peace starts in here. Peace starts within ourself. And this is why Metatron is also saying about getting familiar with leaving the ego behind, because the ego isn't often at peace. The ego can want confrontation and to be right and to have the last word and to have its say, whereas the heart is the place through which peace can flourish. So what is your body hosting right now as a frequency with regards to these big events that are happening in our world? Are you wishing the process well? Are you trying to get behind it? Or are you stuck in separation and division and hatred? And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of that, not on my channels, but on other channels. As I said yesterday, wanting it to fail. If you're wanting it to fail, you are wanting yourself to fail, because failure affects all of us. But I don't believe there's going to be a failure. I believe that no matter what, something good will come out of this, even if it collapses, today or tomorrow or next week, because the piece to path will not be straightforward. But important seeds are being planted right now. So our job as light workers is to water them. And also the other thing about if success is not immediate, I'm drawn to the energy of John Lennon. And if you think about somebody like John or any of the other people that talked about peace in our world, do you think that just because they died and just because they didn't see peace in their lifetime that they failed? That it was not worth what they did? Of course not. So it's always important at times like this to be able to just see, as I said yesterday, beyond the chaos, beyond the ego, to where we all want to get to. We all want to get to. And that is peace. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Take great care. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. Bye.